September 2024 is a very eventful and complicated month full of restrictions and ending. And I'm just here to explain to you guys what you can expect for September 24 based on the movements of the stars above. If you're new here, hi, I'm Harley. I'm a Filipina astrologer and a tarot reader. And what I share here in my channel is just everything that happens based on astrology and also potentially some tarot predictions in the future. So if that's something that you want to see, click subscribe wherever it is here, and hopefully I'll see you in this small community that I'm trying to build here in YouTube. With that out of the way, I want to get straight to the point. What can we expect for September 2024? Now, I just want to say here that I am located in the Philippines. I'm based here, so every single date that I will put here in this video is going to be based on Philippine time zone. And also, if you're not here in the Philippines, just adjust the time zone technically. If you're in the western side of the world, it's like 1 day advance. This video is going to be more of like the general overview of the month and what we can expect in the mundane level and overall level. I'm gonna put some timestamps on the description below if you don't want just going into the details of this, and if you just want to see like a certain transit, I'll also try to add the timestamps here if that's what you want to do. But let's start and jump right into it. On September 1, we already have like a banging transit that's going to happen. We have Uranus stationing retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus for a very long time now. I think it started being there around 2020, 2022, I'm not really sure. But retrogrades are a time of delays and reevaluation, reassessing something. And Uranus is the planet of disruptions, sudden changes, sudden events happening in our lives, and also individuality. So whenever the planet of disruption and chaos and individuality goes retrograde, it gives us this time to sort of rethink and reanalyze those matters related to Taurian matters. So Taurus rules our finance, agriculture, food, beauty, and sometimes even entertainment. So there may be things that we're rethinking overall in a societal level related to that, since Uranus is one of our outer planets. Now, followed by that, on September 2, Pluto will be re-entering Capricorn for the last time this year before it moves and re-enters Aquarius again on November. It has been in the Capricorn since 2008, and we have already seen the movement and the transformations that Pluto has brought to us in the sign of Capricorn. But this is going to be the last chance for things related to Capricorn to transform and also just finalize whatever things that are need to crumble on the Capricorn matters that we know. So what are these matters? Capricorn rules a lot of corporations or like long-standing corporations, big conglomerates. Capricorn also rules like government figureheads sometimes. So with Pluto being the planet of transformation, death, rebirth, and power, we can expect a lot of transformations that will come with Pluto as it re-enters Capricorn. So this happened already last year, and then it re-entered Aquarius last January 21. We can expect a lot of transformations in bigger companies, and there's a possibility as well of like a minor crash in like financial matters, since maraming financial corporations that has been in a long time here in our world, in our planet. So those are the things that we can expect. And then on November this year, it finally will move for good in the sign of Aquarius. So last opportunity na to. So look for wherever Capricorn is in your chart. There are going to be final transformations that will be happening there, or we are going to be given a chance to just do something to process a rebirth or like renew ourselves wherever it is located in our chart. Now, on September 3 naman, we are going to have our new moon in the sign of Virgo. I already have a video, and in that video and videos about all of the rising signs and what you guys could expect related to this new moon in Virgo. So if you want to check that out, I'll try and put it here. But overall, new moons are generally a time of new beginnings, new chapters technically opening for us. So overall, Virgo rules the common folk, the employees, the salespeople, the tradespeople. So there may be something new overall that will start on that particular industry or area. And for our personal lives, look for where Virgo is located in your chart to see where this is going to, like what's going to happen to you, or what's the beginning that's going to be prompted. This is a little bit of a restrictive new beginning, technically. So hindi siya like super celebratory in a way, but still an opportunity for us to begin something. On September 5, Mars, the planet of action, aggression, and conflicts, will be entering the cardinal water sign of Cancer. And this is major because, first of all, Cancer, again, as I mentioned, is cardinal sign. All cardinal signs technically are like beginning points of each season. So if hindi kayo familiar, there are like certain, let's say, characteristics for each of the signs. We have cardinal, mutable, and fixed. Cardinal sign starts the season, and Cancer is one of our cardinal signs. So it starts like the summer season. And whenever there's a planet that enters these cardinal signs, there is always like a massive new beginning or like a massive activation of whatever planet will just go there, because again, it marks like something beginning. Together with that, Mars is in its fall in the sign of Cancer. Fall, what we mean by fall is a planet is technically not comfortable or discouraged in a certain sign. And nagkataon na Mars is all about action, destruction, being in conflict. But Cancer is all about nourishing, taking care of people, being protective of itself. So, hindi sila nagmamatch technically. They're not aligned with the values that they have together. That's why, again, Mars is in its fall in the sign of Cancer. Now, overall, this is technically like Mars being in a foreign land. So, it is advised to not act impulsively, because the tendency here is our emotions are going to be like on the front seat. So, ang mangyayari is there may be some conflicts that will start because we are impulsive about something, or we're passive aggressive about something. People are not gonna like it. So this is not a good time to be very defensive about something, or like fight for something that will feel like it's very defensive for other people. At the same time, it's also not a good time to do actions that requires a lot of energy, so a lot of heavy lifting. Of course, this doesn't mean naman literally na bawal ka magbuhat or bawal kang pumunta sa gym. It only means that it's a good time to technically slow things down. Now, with transits like this, we may feel it already happening like before the ingress date of September 5, tapos even after it. So this may also affect us personally. It's just that there's going to be a lot of like defensive structures for us personally. And in a way, sa overall naman, we can expect some battles around water or tanks or defensive structures, like the themes that are represented by Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign. So a lot of water focused conflicts may really come out on the news or like around the world. On a good side, though, on a positive side, this is a very protective and caring energy. So this is a good time to just really be protective of the things that you really love, the things that you really care about. If those are the things that you need to fight for around this time, that's okay, but it's not necessarily suggested to like create conflicts out of like pure raw emotions. You have to think about it. Because to add with that, again, even after the ingress dates, on September 7, Mercury in the sign of Leo, so the planet of communication and mentality, is going to be squaring Uranus in retrograde around this time in the sign of Taurus. Mercury is communication and thinking. Meanwhile, Uranus is all about unexpected, disruptive changes and events happening in our lives. So there is going to be like a conflict given this square, or like a friction between these two planets. So there may be a lot of disruptive and dramatic communications that we can expect, lalo na since Mars is going to be entering Cancer around this time. It's like a combination of this really combustive energy na lalabas on the earlier parts of September. So please, please, please be careful of what you're going to be saying. Now on September 9, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentality again, will re-enter its home sign of Virgo. So I love this. This is super positive. Mercury is really, really happy in its home sign in Virgo. And this is going to be a very good energy with regards to things that you need to analyze, anything related to communication. Since it's direct again, because it went back to Leo until September 26, but particularly up until September 15, when the other transits are really good, it's a good time for us to do like labors or work that analyzes details, or reporting something, for example, or setting up meetings that requires looking into further details. So that's a very, very good thing to do. So if there's any project, anything that you want to launch that's like very mercurial or like Virgo matters, it's a good time to do that, or sign documents or take care of documents. Really good. Now, another positive thing is on September 15, in the middle of the month, we will have Venus in its home sign of Libra, trining Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. So the lesser benefic, which is Venus, the planet of love, beauty, aesthetic, and values, will trine the greater malefic planet, which is Jupiter, in the sign of Gemini. So this is very harmonious. This is very positive. That's why, again, around September 9 to September 15, it's really good days to talk to people, to launch something that requires talking or signing documents, or just harmonizing with other people, or doing something that requires social stuff. That's going to be super positive. I would personally also use these times, particularly yung September 15, to manifest something. Especially look at where Libra and Gemini is located in your chart. Those are the good themes that you can manifest on. Very, very good time to do it. Probably the major transit of September, we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So this is what we call an out of sign eclipse, since technically the North Node and the South Node are not yet in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, which is going to be next year. So pasilip to on what we can expect. I'll probably make a more in-depth video on how this is going to affect each rising sign soon, but generally speaking, there is a solar eclipse. So kabaliktaran, there was a solar eclipse that happened last February 2017. So whatever began for you, like wherever Pisces is located in your chart, there's a possibility of like ending fully the cycle of what happened around that time in that particular area of your life. So there's going to be a lot of things happening around Piscean matters, because nandun na si Saturn, andun pa si Neptune. So this can be a really challenging day. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm gonna talk more in depth about this in another video. But technically, there may be some restrictive endings related to water transportations or law and order, because Saturn is there, and even spiritual matters because Neptune is there. There may be problems on like financial institutions or like financial troubles overall. And that is because of problems on trade, is something that we can also expect. On the positive side of this event, it's really good to listen to your intuition, because Neptune there, and then the moon, which is like activated during this lunar eclipse, the veil is going to be thin. So it's really good to do spiritual practices or listen to your intuition. I will personally use this day to just really meditate, look back into my practice, and really see where I can improve, and just really connect with my deities as well. So if that's something that you do, take advantage of this day. On the same day, September 18, Mercury in Virgo will oppose Saturn in retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So again, this is a very serious conversation, because Saturn is restrictions, discipline, barriers, and also maturity. So again, September 18 is not really a great day to do something that requires jovial energy, no? On September 20, Mercury is going to be really, really close with the sun. And this is what we call a combustion. So it can really be challenging to communicate something, or you may feel like there are some challenges or restrictions with regards to communicating with other people. So again, it's better to just stick with what you need to do personally and just listen to your intuition around this day. And then on September 22, we are finally going to begin the season of Libra. So ito yung simula ng Libra season natin, wherein the sun is going to be entering the air sign of Libra. The thing here is, despite the fact that Libra is really fun, it's all about peace and weighing the scales and just all about equality and peace and also relationships. The bad news is the sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra. So there is some sort of friction in this placement technically, because ito yung simula na on the other side of the world, there is a lesser time in the morning and more time in the evening. So para siyang the sun is preparing to just give its light, or technically put the power for the moon, or like during the nighttime. Since the sun is vitality of oneself, and then Libra is all about other people, relationship with other people, peace with other people, it cannot necessarily function very greatly in the sign of Libra. This doesn't mean na hindi maganda ang sun and Libra placement in your charts, don't get me wrong. But it only means that in the overall spectrum, or like the energy of like the world technically, there's going to be a lot of focus in relationships or like societal matters. And it will be really hard for us to sort of find our personal power or like our personal role in that certain areas that it will be activated for our lives. After that, on the next day, agad-agad, Venus is going to enter the sign of Scorpio. Now, Venus naman is in detriment in the sign of Scorpio. So detriment happens when a planet is in the opposite side of its home or its ruling sign. So Venus kasi is the natural ruler of Taurus. So since Taurus, when you look at, I'm gonna put it here, if you look at the map or the zodiac wheel, let's just say, opposite ni Scorpio si Taurus. That's why Venus feels like it's in a foreign land and it cannot use its resources whenever it's in the sign of Scorpio. Especially since Scorpio is naturally ruled by Mars, the planet of action, and also conflicts. Now again, this doesn't mean naman na it's not good when you have Venus and Scorpio. I personally love Venus and Scorpio people. They really love deeply, they love intensity. However, kasi whenever Venus is in the sign of Scorpio, it shows that the things that we love or where we find pleasure, we find it in really weird places to the point na paminsan we find pleasure in pain. So these are the themes that you may expect around this time while Venus is staying in the sign of Scorpio. It's going to be really intense and you analyze your feelings too much, or your relationship with other people technically is going to be really private, or you analyze it. It's really defensive and secretive as well, so it loves intensely. In a way, it's really protective, which is really good. Pero yun nga, there may be some things that we will tolerate that is not necessarily like the best stuff for us, pero we will tolerate it around this time. On the following days after that, there's going to be a lot of movements with Mercury, the planet of communication and mentality. So babasahin ko lang sa cheat sheet ko, so I'm going to be looking in that area. Alright, so on September 24, Mercury in Virgo will trine Uranus in the sign of Taurus, currently in retrograde around this time. So Mercury again, and then Uranus. Trine is a little bit more of like a positive aspect. However, there's a possibility of still a lot of unexpected communications or communicative exchanges, a lot of unexpected things being said to one another. September 25, Mercury in Virgo will then oppose Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. So in a bad way, this is very confusing. So ang mangyayari nito is there may be a lot of ideas, a lot of things that we want to do, but Neptune is like just very dreamy and it's just an illusion for Neptune. So you may not put action in the ideas that you have technically. Together with that though, on the positive note, this is going to be a very spiritually activated day. This is also really good to just use if you want to do spiritual stuff, do a spell, do a ritual, or just learn something related to spirituality. That's a good thing that you can do. September 25 to 26, Mercury again, still in Virgo around this time, will trine Pluto in retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So in a mundane level, there's a possibility of figureheads, so important figureheads in politics, in conglomerates, or even like in spiritual matters, can say something or may announce something, or there's going to be a document that will come out of nowhere technically because of the final transformations that needs to be done. So that's something that we can expect. On our personal lives, this is like sort of a power struggle. Trine is still it's still a really good aspect. However, yun nga, this is Pluto, the planet of transformation. So there may be things that we will be saying that will transform our path or transform how people see us. So you have to be careful what you will say. Ang last na adventure ni Mercury before the month ends is it will enter the sign of Libra. Again, Libra is all about the scales, balancing things, equality, peace, relationship with other people, our roles in a society. So Mercury being the planet of communication and mentality, nandoon naman yung focus ng mga pag-uusapan natin. So like societal exchanges, societal communications, or like documents, writings related to society or like law and order, and also some things related to relationship. This can also spur out certain like debates or certain exchanges on how we need to take care certain relationships in our lives. Ang maganda lang dito, if you are in a creative industry, there may be a lot of creative ideas spurring out, or like a lot of creative ideas in your head. So take advantage of that as well. Now, the last transit that will be happening this month is on September 28th. Mars in Cancer is going to trine Saturn in retrograde in the sign of Pisces. This is a double-edged sword transit, okay? Because Mars is conflict and action, and then Saturn is restriction, barriers, discipline, and maturity. So whenever there's a trine between these two planets, so trine technically is an aspect between two planets that are in the same elements of the same sign. Technically, pareho silang water signs. Cancer and Pisces are both water signs. So trine is supposed to be positive kasi they have the same like attitude or temperament. However, Mars and Saturn are our malefic planets. And malefic planets are planets that are really hard to work with. So there's a possibility of like action that are being restricted that is supposed to be good or vice versa. May possibility then that there may be some people who want to put restrictions or put like barriers in a certain thing, and they will have some action towards that, or may gagawin sila something about it that we may not expect, or like in a very passive aggressive way. So that's something that we should also be careful of. That's it. That is all of the major transits in September. I was actually thinking of making like an individual video for each rising sign. So if that's something that you guys want, if gusto niyo yon, let me know in the comments down below. Overall energy based on each rising signs to help you guys out for the month. It will be laborious, maraming video yon, but if it's something that you guys would want, let me know and I'll try to make it for next month. But hopefully, Virgo season and Libra season together on September is something that will be really beneficial for you. Now remember that astrology predictions and readings like this are just meant to guide you for the month ahead. It's not meant to scare you, and it is not also meant for you to just follow everything that I say. At the end of the day, this is just your cheat sheet on what you can expect for the month ahead. So that's it, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Comment down below if you have any thoughts for September or what you think will happen for you. And also do not forget to subscribe and like the video. That will really help me a lot. Thank you and bye!